Hello, you're watching James. My name's James, you're watching me, and I'm talking about watches. Well, it's fairly likely that you're in a similar situation to me and that you haven't been on a plane going on extensive travels for the past few years. And if you have, it's been limited compared to what it was prior to these big issues that have been happening in the world lately. And for me, I'm about to jump on a plane for the first time in a long time to go visit family on the other side of Australia. And it has made me think about the amount of travels that I did prior to the pandemic. And I am somebody that loves to travel. I like to travel within Australia and I love to go overseas, see new cultures, visit new areas, see different countries, and I absolutely love it. One of the reasons I started this channel a couple of years ago was because I wanted to fill in the time that travel normally would do for me. Now that I am traveling, now that I am going over east to see family, it has made me think, what watch am I going to take with me? Or what watches am I going to take with me? And it's made me think about what I used to take with me and what sort of situations that I would take certain watches. And after thinking about it, I've realized that there was sort of two different types of traveling that would dictate what watches I take. Firstly, if I was going somewhere where I didn't really know the area, if I knew I was going to be traveling around a lot, a country that I was a little bit unsure of, or somewhere where I was going to be doing a lot of outdoor activity, I would generally just take one watch with me. And that would generally be a Seiko Prospex watch or a dive watch of some sort. For me, that sort of watch is a sort of everyday watch, a watch I can wear if I'm in the water, if I'm out walking or trekking, if I'm sort of just out and about in a city, if I'm at a restaurant, no matter what the sort of situation, I'm happy to wear that watch. So that one watch would be the perfect watch for traveling in those sort of environments where perhaps I was a little bit concerned that maybe the watch might get lost or damaged or stolen. Just having that one watch was just a nice, easy thing for me to think about going, it's either on my wrist or it's next to me while I'm sleeping. There's not going to be any issues. The other reason why I like my Prospex watches when I travel is because they're at a really good price point. They're at a price point that if it did get damaged or lost or something happened to it outside of what has ever happened to a watch with me before, then it's not going to financially devastate me by any means. It'll be disappointing, but it's at a sort of price point where I can sort of live with the loss of that watch. But it is also at a price point that gives you enough quality that I'm actually enjoying wearing that watch over a longer period of time whilst I'm traveling. Now, on the other hand, when I've been traveling in different circumstances where I'm either going to one location where I feel very safe or secure, where I know where I'm going to be staying, or whether I'm going visiting family like I am going to be doing in the next couple of weeks, it gives me the opportunity to spread out a little bit more and take a few watches with me. And normally I would take 3 watches. And it depends on where I'm going, what I'm going to be doing. It would depend on the watches that I take. And on this occasion, since I am going to be going somewhere where I'm very comfortable going, I'm visiting family, I am going to be able to take a few more watches with me. And today I am going to be showing you the 3 watches that I'm going to be taking traveling. Now guys, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I really would appreciate if you just click on that subscribe button. But let's flip the camera around now and let me show you the 3 watches that I'm taking on my first on-plane holiday in some time. So I am taking 3 watches with me, 1 on wrist and 2 in my custom-made travel roll. Now, if you haven't watched the video about me making this, I will leave a bit of a link down in the description. I really enjoyed making this. It was an interesting project and I'm really happy with the results. It's not perfect, but it is very convenient and perfect to what I want to use it for. So what watches am I taking? Well, the first watch I am taking with me is not a watch I would ever normally take traveling. But on this particular occasion, I'm going to visit my father. My father bought a watch secondhand in the 80s, which a few years ago he sent to me and I've had fully restored. And he has never actually seen it once it has been fully restored. So I'm going to be taking my Seiko 6139 Seiko Pogue with me. As I said, I wouldn't normally take this traveling. I wouldn't want to put it at any risk. I love this watch and I love the connection I have with this watch. However, because I'm going to visit my father, I'm fairly happy and confident that it will be safe. And plus, I think it'd be lovely for him to see this watch in its full glory again. He hasn't had it running since probably the late 80s, early 90s. A few years ago, he sent it to me when I asked. It had been sitting in a box for a long time. And I think it'll be a bit of a treat for him to see it up and running. So, Seiko Pogue, my first watch that I'm taking traveling. The next watch is going to be probably my most daily worn watch whilst I'm away. And it's generally going to be a dive watch. and it absolutely is a dive watch this time. And I'm taking this one because I just absolutely love it, and I don't want to be without it for a couple of weeks, and I know I'm going to want to wear it. It is my Steinhardt Ocean One Vintage Military. I love this watch. This is absolutely incredible. It has well and truly become one of my absolute favorite watches in my collection. It is the watch that I probably wear at the moment most in my collection, so taking it with me is absolutely an easy choice for me. I absolutely want my Steinhardt with me whilst I'm traveling. Really, it will be my day-to-day wear. If I'm jumping in and out of water, if I'm going for walks, if I'm doing whatever I'm doing, this is the one that I'm going to be wearing most of the time that I'm going to be away. But I do want one that's probably a little bit more dressy, something that I can wear a little bit more informally, something if I just don't want to be wearing something like this, or if I don't want to have this on wrist at the time. So what's my third watch? Well, again, I want something that I'm absolutely enjoying wearing and that I absolutely love, because if I'm traveling, I like to wear watches that I love. It makes sense, doesn't it? Now, this is probably not the obvious dressy choice for a third watch, but I kind of like it, and I feel like it feels a bit dressy when I wear it, probably because it's on a leather strap. But it's my Escapement Time Type B Fleiger. Yes, okay, it's not a dress watch, I understand that, but I actually quite like wearing this in situations where it feels a bit dressy. I think having that nice dark leather strap, quite a sort of a thin case shape, I think it fits and looks quite good in dressy environments or dressy casual environments, wearing down and out to dinner, going out for a drink. I quite enjoy wearing this one. And to be honest, just like my Steinhardt, I don't really want to be without it for a couple of weeks, because I do really enjoy wearing this watch. So in my little watch roll, 2 watches plus Pogue on the wrist when I'm actually traveling. When I'm going to be jumping on that plane, definitely having the Pogue on my wrist. That is the one that I absolutely cannot afford to risk damaged or lost, so that's the one that I'm going to have on my person. And inside my watch roll, if you haven't seen it already, I've got it set up for 2 watches. So that's how I sort of travel with my watches. I always have them with me in my sort of day pack, because I don't want them too far away from me. All right, guys, that's my video for today. They're the 3 watches I'm taking. As I said, in different circumstances, I would just probably take a dive watch, maybe my Steinhardt here, maybe a Seiko Prospex, and that one I can just have on wrist all the time. But it is nice to be able to go out traveling, go somewhere where I feel very secure, then I can have a bit more of a range of different watches to wear. As always, thank you so much for watching. I do hope to see you in the next video.